I struggled a lot with the decision to sell my home, and then when I did, I struggled with making decisions how it should look. I had painted, I thought everything looked fine, and my realtor came by. He loved the house, but he suggested I meet with Just Perfect, a home staging company, and he thought that they could make some recommendations and some changes that would help me get the price that I wanted. I thought it was a crazy idea because, you know, my house was not a mansion. I thought only $1 million home staged. But he convinced me that it was the right thing to do, and I did it. And I was skeptical at first. And then I met with Jessica and the team, and they made some recommendations. And again, I was skeptical. I was having a hard time handing off the project to sell my house to them or to decorate my house, but I finally decided to do it, and it was extremely liberating. I was able to start moving towards my new goal, which was a new house, and getting settled and getting decorated there. And I stayed very involved in the beginning because I didn't have that trust yet, but after seeing some of the changes and some of the recommendation, I quickly gained that trust and handed it over. And again, I use the word liberating because I just thought it allowed me to move on, and it allowed them to do the things that were necessary. They kept me in the loop, and we went back and forth and agreed on some and disagreed on some, more agreement than disagreement. But it was the best thing I did. I got the price that I wanted. It was only on the market for 31 days. And some of the homes in my area that went for sale at the same time as mine are still on the market, and it's a year later. So again, I thought, you know, it was going to be too pricey, and you know, they were going to make grand recommendations, and they really didn't. It was some small recommendations, but they handled everything. They handled repairs that needed to be made that I was really struggling with. They were, to me, overwhelming, and to Just Perfect, it was just another day. So they would tell me what needed to be done. We'd discuss it, and they'd send me a bill. And nothing crazy. I wasn't disappointed at the end. I didn't think I spent too much. I think the price was right. I think it got me what I wanted. And I did in the beginning. I did have reservations again in the beginning. I thought that not for my house. You know, it just didn't seem like, you know, not that the house wasn't worth it, but it just seemed like something really rich people did in really big houses. But I have no reservations now. I would do it. I will do it again if I ever decide to sell this house. It was only on the market for 31 days. I almost thought when they called me when my realtor called me with an offer, I couldn't even believe it. Again, I said the other houses that went for sale when mine did are still on the market, and I do think that staging was the key. I think that had I not staged my home, it probably would be on the market like everybody else's a year later. Was there anything difficult about the staging? It was silly little things. I remember I had always heard that before you put your house on the market, you should paint it a neutral color. So I went out and painted a neutral color. And one of the first things that Jessica recommended was some changes to paint. And I struggled with that. And I agreed to, go with Jessica's recommendation. And boy, what a difference it made. I wouldn't have known it could make such a difference if I had not gone forward with that. So I'm very glad that I did. And the other thing which blew me away was light bulbs. They recommended that I go with standard light bulbs across, all the lights, and I was like, really? But anyway, I did. And again, the difference is unbelievable. I now, in my house, have decided I have to have all the same light bulbs, and I'll do that forever because it really does make a difference. And the color of the light bulbs make a difference. Absolutely, and I didn't think I'd ever say that. I had a beautiful home, and I thought I had done a beautiful job staging it, but after seeing it staged by Just Perfect, it was a whole other level. And one of the things I said was, I had all these ideas for the 6 years I lived in the house. Some of them I was able to execute. But others I just couldn't get. I struggled for 6 years trying to get my Carolina room to the point where I would feel comfortable and I thought it looked the way I wanted it to, and never really got there. And then Just Perfect came in and they staged it, and I could have choked myself because it was what I wanted all along. So I definitely think the view of my home changed. I was very tied to the way I had it and thought that was the way it should be, but after seeing it staged, I had a whole other view of it, and I think that's probably what sold the house. It made, their recommendations made my home more, I think, appealing to a whole different or a much larger group of people, and I think that was really, really important. Do I have any advice? Yes, stage. And I'm saying it because I struggled with trying to, whether or not to put the house on the market. And then once I did decide to put it on the market, I kind of struggled with, what was it I was trying to show, and would it be appealing to people? And one recommendation, as an example, was an office that I had, and Just Perfect recommended putting a closet in it, and I was kind of stumped by that. I said it's a beautiful office, but when I did go ahead and do that, I realized now I could list my house as a 3-bedroom instead of a 2, and it was a large house, and it made it appealing to more people. So anyone thinking about going with Just Perfect, I think sit down, talk to them, listen to the testimonials, because I think you'll hear nothing but good, and go with them. I'm now in a new house and hoping that I can get Just Perfect to maybe make some recommendations for this house. Not selling it, but just helping me with some of the ideas. I was thrilled. I wouldn't do anything differently, and again, if I decide to sell this house, I will be working with Just Perfect.